Here are my top 5 recovery fails after having hip surgery 19 days ago. Number 5 was probably the most frustrating, which even tops having surgical complications. Nobody say this makeup should be one of them because I'll cry. Number 1 was baking these scones. My dad actually baked these for me a few months ago and they've been in my freezer, which is actually fine for this recipe. You can then bake them from frozen. However, I chose to thaw these overnight and that made the dough very sticky. They cemented to the pan and I ended up with just some tough scone tops instead of actual scones. Number 2 was this coffee explosion that took me over an hour to clean. My parents' coffee machine has a fatal flaw in that if this lever isn't all the way up, water can't drain through the grounds and it will overflow everywhere. It must have been pushed down during cleaning the day before and I came back to a coffee explosion. I was alone since Jake was at work and so I didn't have help and I couldn't find the cleaning supplies right away because this is my parents' place. I don't live here. I did find this ice scraper, but this was wholly ineffective before finally finding a broom. I also had to scrub the counters because they tend to absorb stain at record paces, but now everything is good as new, I promise. Number 3 was actually the scariest, which was shattering a glass on the floor next to my bed. I'd set my glass of water on my rolling bed table and lost my balance next to it when I was trying to hobble into some pajamas. I grabbed the table for support and luckily did not fall, but the glass flew off. I was alone because Jake was at home taking care of the animals, and I was scared because if my good foot steps on glass, I would be pretty much completely immobile. Jake talked me down from a panic on the phone, and he was able to come the next day to clean it up because I didn't have to leave my bed again for the rest of that evening. But I would not have been able to clean that up myself safely because my wheelchair was on the other end of the room. I no longer am bringing anything other than plastic cups into my bedroom. Number 4 is having a post-surgical complication that only 3 to 5% of surgery patients with hip arthroscopies get. Part of my daily physical therapy is supposed to be stationary biking. It turns out my pudendal nerve goes completely numb if I bike for over 5 minutes, so I can't feel my groin or part of my leg after getting off for around 30 minutes. My doctor is hoping this is transient and should go away within 3 months, but in the meantime, I'm only riding for 5 minutes at a time. Number 5 was trying to open this bottle of wine. I wanted to have my first glass since surgery while watching The Golden Bachelor, but the cork was so soft it broke everywhere, and I even ended up with this little hole in the middle. I needed to strain all the pieces of cork, and again, I don't live here, so I did my best with what I could find. Sorry, Mom and Dad, for creating some chaos while you were away. You have one less glass. Anyways, see y'all tomorrow.